This NASCAR Darlington Spring 2026 betting recap edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Lord, we want to thank you for Darlington and the not throwback weekend that just happened. It is, of course, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and that is exactly what we're here to do today. Wrap up the weekend that was at the Darlington Raceway. Man, Cody, I got to tell you, I know that we've watched some good racing so far this season, but this was some of the better racing I think I've seen, and I know that there was parts of the race where I was already tired and trying to stay awake through it. But the actionable parts were definitely action, and we had a lot of fun. It was a great weekend of racing.
Yeah, I thought it was another amazing weekend, really. I feel, we're through 6 events now, and we've had a variety of different styles and different tracks, and I think we've had pretty good racing for the most part each and every single week. I think that NASCAR's nailed it with the horsepower changes. That really helped at Phoenix, maybe less so this weekend, although I'm sure it played a factor. The tire stuff was great. Obviously, we had the fall off this week again, like we expected. And Goodyear, it was the Goodyear 400. Goodyear's done a great job of crafting tires to fall off and getting over that stigma of we can't, sell tires if they wear out on the track because it's, just not how it works. But I love it. Finally, had a fucking big ass betting weekend. It's been rough for me in particular. I know you've hit a lot of stuff this year, but it's been a rough first 5 weeks of the year. Killed it this week and feeling good about it. So absolutely love it.
I mean, there was a lot of great takeaways, especially from your betting card for sure. Only because your betting card was the only one in most of these races. But yeah, listen, congrats to Tyler Reddick. Just proving to everybody that Cody was a couple of years too early on his championship call. I'm telling you right now, Tyler Reddick, who knew that all 2311 needed was a little extra money in their pocket to make their team a little bit better. But listen, Tyler Reddick is taking these guys to school. Now, he channeled his inner Ryan Blaney, and he channeled his inner I had another driver that he channeled his inner
he channeled a lot of fucking things this weekend.
He channeled his inner AJ Allmendinger as well to get through push through that race to win at Darlington.
Yeah, he channeled a lot of things. I mean, they just threw every problem that he could possibly have in the race, and it just kept feeling like, and I said it in the Discord, like everything said from before practice to specifically in practice and qualifying, everything said Tyler Reddick should dominate this race, be the best car. Then we get in the race, and he's clearly the fastest car, and then just problem after problem after wreck after problem and he still comes through, wins the race. It just, absolutely amazing performance. And that car just on rails. I mean, nobody had anything for him. They fought through all the adversity. and I heard Denny talking about it. Tyler maybe wasn't as good at fighting through everything a couple of years ago, but he's really, really, pushed himself and transformed into, holy shit, he's good.
And that just capped off a great weekend of racing with great performances by all three of the people that won the race in the trucks, O'Reilly and the Cup Series. So we'll talk about all of that. Want to check in with Andrew, loving the day, loving Darlington. By the way, Marcus.
Andrew hit a lot of bets. It was good to see.
Marcus said Christopher Bell let him down. I know.
Can we call somebody to the hauler? I'd like to call Christopher Bell to the hauler. What a fucking joke, Chris. We'll get into it as we get to the bets, but Christopher Bell officially on the shit list. He had a horrible freaking weekend. Just atrocious weekend all around through all three races. Very, very disappointed in your guy, Marcus.
Yeah, it was a very disappointing day for Christopher Bell. Yeah, weekend, all the way around. There was not a lot to cheer for if you're a Christopher Bell fan. Old Fashioned Football checking in. Justin saying, Rod and Cody, I know them, and I know you too, Justin, because you can also listen to the Old Fashioned Football podcast on the SGPN app, where you can get all of our picks and podcasts in one place, completely free. When you're done with us, click over to Old Fashioned and get a little whiskey talk while you're talking about fantasy football and football, the likes. Thanks, Justin, for having that easy transition to the little ad read there. This is why we're professionals, right? And then Marcus, Christopher Bell didn't sweep at Darlington.
No.
And Tyler Reddick channeled his inner J-Mark, which I can confer because J-Mark is a tough man.
As did Rod with that smooth ad read transition.
There, don't call me the guy in the business for nothing, right? So, yeah. All right. So it was a fun weekend of racing. Obviously, we'll get to your calls. JDK, we see you. We know that we're waiting for that. But actually, you know what? Let's bring JDK.
Bring JDK. Yeah.
Say this is
for
you if you want to get in. Go to the SGPN. SG.pn/Discord. Join the Discord. Get in.
I'll drop in the chat as well.
Indeed. All right, JDK. Hey, buddy.
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Outstanding. See, working 2 weeks in a row. We've got this.
Oh, it's a miracle.
It was a pretty good weekend. Racing yesterday was pretty exciting. Tyler Reddick, man, that car, I don't know. It is fast. They figured something out, and boy, oh boy, has he taken full advantage of it. That was quite the impressive run he had yesterday. We did hit Tyler Reddick for a pole, plus 650. I called that out early in the week, talking with Rowdy there. I said, get on that guy. And sure enough, bing bang, plus 650. So pretty happy there. Hit Tyler Reddick outright. And luckily enough, Chase Briscoe decided to schmuck it up at the end of the race and let Chris Buescher sneak in for that top 10 for that cash too. Truck was horrible. Xfinity was close. Almost had Cory Day top 5, and Parker Retzlaff, I got him plus 50,000 plus 5,000. So 50 to 1 for a top 5 because Bet365 left their odds open during practice, and he ended up 7th. So that was a pretty close miss on that point.
Can we talk about Parker Retzlaff for a half a second? Like, this dude, we laughed a couple of weeks ago in the Discord when somebody was throwing Parker Retzlaff's picture up there, but we may not be laughing anymore. That his Xfinity runs are looking pretty good lately, or his O'Reilly runs. Hey, I don't feel bad for saying Xfinity anymore because all of the guys in the booth are still saying Xfinity.
It's crazy because they're actually talking about how he is one of the most highly touted drivers in O'Reilly Auto Parts Series now, and one of the highest up-and-coming talents. And that Viking Motorsports team, they had it together on Saturday. Even Alfredo had a pretty good showing.
Fast pasta was not slow pasta for Cody.
Yeah, what we've seen out of slow pasta here lately, that was a bit surprising. But Parker Retzlaff, yeah, I mean, he's really putting himself on some team radars because he's shown up and run well, and he's done so in the Cup Series. The few opportunities he's had in the draft and track stuff, almost won a couple of years ago. Obviously kind of pissed Chevy off at the time, but yeah, he's impressive, and a guy definitely have circled to be watching for his top 5 and top 10 odds when we get him for O'Reilly going forward.
100%. I think, that 48's available. I'd rather see Retzlaff in there than fucking Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch or Carson Hocevar?
Who's that? Kyle Busch? I never heard of him.
Exactly. Who's Kyle Busch? Oh, funny stat from the weekend. So Kyle Larson going into Darlington Spring races had an average finish of 31.7, and Kyle Larson finished 32nd.
Wow.
He did Kyle Larson things in the Spring Darlington race.
Hold on. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, but were you talking about Captain Shook? Because I think he's bad. Like I think the nickname needs to be bestowed. We'll see these next 2 weeks will really tell us with Martinsville and Bristol, which, as we were talking about, are two of his best tracks statistically. But he seems pretty shook to me again, Rod. We're on it's 30 race winless streak now, I think, or so. It's I don't know. I think I shorted him a couple weeks ago, but I think it was 29 or 30, something like that. It's getting up there.
It's been tough.
I think it's the longest streak of his career.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's been tough for everybody in that Chevy camp lately, too, as we saw them struggle last week, especially, right? All of the, Phyllis says Chevy sucks. And right now, I feel like they feel like
loved Chevy this weekend. They cashed that under 3.5 Chevys in the top 10. We knew they were going to suck this weekend. We saw it coming.
That one was looking a little sketch for you, though, because there was 4 in there at one point, and it was steady at that.
I wasn't going to be sad if Hocevar was the one that tipped me on the other side, but
never ever. Although Phila is saying that he was really hoping for a long shot winner at Darlington, not the guy who was plus 350 after pre and qual.
Well, we got him pretty good number before qual. What did we get him at? 7-1 or 650? Personally, I had a 650, but I think 650.
It was plus 750 on Bet365.
Yeah,
there it is.
There you go. So,
yeah. All right, boys. Well, great chatting. I'll let you get back to her.
Beautiful. Thanks, JDK. We appreciate it, buddy.
And if you would like to be like JDK, boys, make sure you call in and on the Discord. So we'll get you on the show as well. All right, Cody, we have bets to break down, and we will do exactly that. But I want to do that and do that in a nice little fashion and in a nice little line. So we'll talk first about our friends over at Kalshi. Kalshi, it's a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Kalshi's got a ton of trading options for all of your favorite sports. And listen, not just sports, but there's culture. There's all kinds of great stuff going on. Season 50 of Survivor is still going strong. And if you've been watching these markets, you know that Suri is starting to climb up now. She was about 3 cents a little earlier in the season. Now she's climbed up to 10 cents to win this whole thing. So $20 that we're about to give you, if you put that down on Suri right now, if she ends up winning this season, we'll pay off $200. I guarantee you this is only going to go up. This is not going to go down. So you might want to get in now while you can before it spikes again after the next episode. So take that, and we're going to give you $20 if you're a new Kalshi customer when you use our promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Our friends over at Underdog have you covered for Pick'em for almost every single sport under the sun. Underdog, they've just increased their payouts too. 2 pick entries now pay 3.5x, and 3 entries now pay 6.5 times your initial investment. It's never too early to start looking forward to the NFL. NFL futures. Brock Purdy of the San Francisco 49ers has a shiny new receiver in Mike Evans. Boy, he is going to obliterate this 3,724.5 passing projection on the season. So give me the higher than. He's going to throw for like 6,000 yards. Okay, maybe not that many, but at least 300 or 3,725 yards is how many he's going to throw for. So give me the higher than on that one. You can get in on that one as too. And if you're a brand new customer to Underdog, play just $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. It's funny when I go away on my Army weekends and I try to explain to some people that don't really understand what I do. And when I go from sport to sport to sport, their eyes glaze over, and I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Because on Monday, I'm going to be able to do this and people will understand. So thank you all for understanding.
Yes. Sometimes, like, well, how you do what? How would you bet on that? And it's like, well, it's just, people just don't understand sometimes.
We'll have enough liquid beverages to make you understand at some point. Right. But for now, just just roll with it. But
Right.
all right. So Cody, do we start with the trucks and the OReilly series races from the weekend?
If we have to talk about them, I'd like to get them out of the way first.
Okay, let's get him out of the way first. The truck series. Hey, Heim time again, man. You could put this guy, I think, in one of those trucks that the Boy Scouts build, and he'll still whoop the field sometimes. And
but
not even
like,
whooping
that's
the
the
field.
thing is he didn't whoop the field, and if it wasn't for a late caution and a tire advantage, he's not even coming close to winning this. So that's where you look back and you're like, well, it was never not Heim time, right? We should have just bet on Heim, bit the bullet with the favorite, but should we have? Because he really wasn't great throughout the race. Like, he was fine, but there weren't points, at least, I mean, that was Friday night. That was a while ago, but thinking back, like, I don't ever remember thinking, oh, Corey Heim's going to win this race. I mean, it just, and then, we got to the end of the race and all of a sudden there he was. The broadcast failed to tell us that anybody got fresh tires, so we didn't even know they were coming. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, he's on new tires. Okay, congrats, Heim.
So then what do you say if your uncle had or if your aunt had nuts, whatever it is. But here's the thing, right? Sometimes you have to just bluff your way through a hand to win all the money. And Corey Heim played the cards. He got dealt a 7 deuce, wasn't able to really make it work through the flop, but he pushed his advantage and he got everybody else to fold at the end and he won. So listen, to me, It wasn't about having the best truck. It was just being able to play the hand that you were.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? All props to him for winning. Just like betting wise, I don't think we missed by not having him because, as Brian Twining points out, Heim was a second-tier truck until having 5-lap fresher scuffs, and that really is what it came down to. If we don't get that caution late, you don't hear about him, and we would have thought, wow, Heim didn't really show up. So I think it's something to note going forward. And I heard Denny talking about this on Actions That Are Mental. Apparently, Denny got offered this 5 truck for Darlington, turned it down, and that's why Cory drove it. So interesting there. But it's like a very rushed program. He just found out like 2 or 3 weeks ago he was going to be driving it. So I don't know. We'll see as we continue to go forward, but I don't think it's an automatic it's Heim time when he gets in this 5 car, even though, yes, it is Corey Heim. The truck just maybe isn't up to the par that the 11 running every week with the same driver and everything was at, the last couple of seasons. Now, I'm still amazingly talented, obviously, and played out in the end of the day.
Yeah, he definitely deserves something rather than just sitting there filling in every single week. I feel like there's other drivers that don't need to be where they're at, so Cory could be in there.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's not full-time anywhere, but is what it is. All right, Rod, should we talk about your one truck series bet?
Yeah, the one bullet that I had in the chamber. Listen, I was qualifying this week, and I'm glad this is the only one that I actually did qualify. I'm glad I didn't miss, or I missed with this one. I could not have to worry about it. But yeah, Rhodes over Haley. I mean,
this was not a bad bet, though. Like,
no, it would have cashed. It would have cashed.
Yeah, if you tell us Haley finishes 15th, and after starting 25th, like that's what we expected.
Mm-hmm.
But Rhodes was playing with the squirrels, and sometimes you get your nuts. What's the saying? Crack. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Rhodes is in a beef now with my guy Tyler Ankrum. So I don't know how I'm going to rectify that. I have to go.
Did you see his tweet about Ankrum, Rod?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah, that's that down-headed kid from. I'm surprised.
Yes. Oh, that was perfect.
That one.
I know because you saw that rule that they posted about, or that Bob posted about, that's what got Dye in trouble, and I was thinking, well, this might break some of those rules, but it was rather hilarious. And then people, of course, were imposing Ankrum's face on that kid, and he does look just like him.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, but
he said what we were all thinking, right?
It's tough though because that I don't know. I don't completely blame Ankrum for it, but at the same time, it's like it's Darlington. We saw a lot of that stuff happening all around. These trucks were not the most secure trucks in the entire. I mean, you saw them just squirting around. Loose. Yeah,
a lot. Yeah, some very loose trucks. But okay, so that was all Rod had. Of course, if you missed it last weekend, Rod was on Army weekend, so I did the O'Reilly and Truck Show because the odds were late coming out because of basketball stuff. So that was all Rod was able to get in there because we didn't have any odds available when you left. So I don't know. My card was definitely not great for these lower series. I had Hocevar over Honeycutt. this should have hit. I mean, he was going to win the race until that late. He got spun, right? He was the caution. But he was on his way to winning and would have hit this. So I still like this bet. Honeycutt was impressive. He looked great throughout the day. The truck is good, and Honeycutt's good. So I'll give him that. But, this one I think should have hit. So
But here's the thing about that. Honeycutt should have won this race. Honeycutt had a issue late, and
true,
that restart screwed him up because of all these guys. Like he said, they don't care about points. They can move. Hocevar moved him out of the way.
Okay,
and
I'll give you that. Honeycutt was very good. So this definitely was a toss up. And Honeycutt wins, so I lose, and that's how it goes. Feigning lane rigs on non-short tracks. Again, this is what I talked about last week. It's not that Riggs is going to be bad because he was fast. He looked good for a while, but you can't trust the guy to get to the end of these races yet. It's like a little kid, right? Like, he's going to do really well until he kind of gets bored, and then he misses the baseball coming at him because he's playing with the butterfly in the outfield. Like, that's just where we're at with Lane Riggs. He can't stay out of trouble yet. And once he gets that figured out, he's going to be really scary. But faded in with Christopher Bell, who was absolute fucking shit in this race and really pissed me off, Rod. But he did cash this at plus money. That was the thought. So plus 105, he cashed it. We'll take it. Bell top 5. Well, we're on the Bell topic. Even money. How does Christopher Bell come into this race and just suck? I mean, he was not a top 5 truck all day. And the only reason he got close with a 6th place finish is because of the late caution. Like, that's what I thought when that caution came out, was like, oh shit, we got a shot now. And he gets up there and then he gets back and finishes in 6th place. But Christopher Bell, least impressive driver on the entire weekend for me. It was just really sad, the lack of anything Christopher Bell did in these low. And you think, oh, well, 6th place, that's not bad. But for Christopher Bell in the Truck Series, he should be in contention to win this race. And there was never any point in time where you thought, wow, Christopher Bell could win this race. He just looked like trash all day, and it was highly disappointing. Luckily for us, I picked him for our one and done pool, and Phil did as well. So we didn't lose any more ground to Phil. So,
thank you very much. I know you put that in the doc. You were like, Bell ? And so I was
like, oh, we didn't talk about it, but I was like, I figure Rod would back me on this, so we'll roll with it.
I would. And then Brian just reiterating the earlier thought that Bell was
O'Reilly, you're in the fastest fucking car in the field and you suck all day again. Like, he really fucking bothered. And then he was nowhere to be found in the Cup race. I mean, did he even race on Sunday? I don't remember seeing it. I couldn't tell you who sponsored Christopher Bell this weekend because that's how little we saw of him on Sunday. Was he in the DeWalt car? Was it the Interstate Batteries car? Was he driving? I don't have no idea because I didn't fucking see him at all, and it was ridiculous.
He was driving an ice cream truck.
Well, maybe the ice cream truck would have finished if he was driving that, but he sucked, Rob.
Indeed.
Okay, Tanner Gray, top 5, 8-1. This had legs at points, looked good. I believe, was it Tanner? I think was one that got caught. He was like near the top 5 on one of the last restarts. And somebody, was it Stuart Friesen? Maybe, I don't remember. I don't remember how it went down. This was back on Friday, but somebody got loose on the last restart, and Friesen got wiped out. That was part of it. I don't remember who it was. Gosh, that's
so. You talk about the last one. It was Ankrum, it was Friesen, it was the 25 truck and the 98 truck. So I think not Majeski, because I'm so used to that, but yeah, the 98 truck.
Yeah, maybe that's who it was. But yeah, Friesen top 5 at 8-1. And Gray top 5 at 8-1. For being the long shots they were, both of these had legs throughout the day. I mentioned Gio as well at 8-1. Well, I didn't give him out on the card. He finished 8th. So all 3 of these had life throughout the day. You end up with a fairly chalky top 5. Connor Mosack, maybe the one you wouldn't expect to be up there. But they all had legs. So we'll take that. But unfortunately did not hit any of them.
Indeed. And then, of course, your outrights were Bell and Friesen, which you just talked about.
Bell sucked. Friesen, I don't think he was ever going to win, but he had a decent truck. That's what we were looking for. Chandler Smith, look, I talked about this. He came up as, oh, what about this group? What about that? Or whatever in the chat. And I said we couldn't trust him, really. You take the outright in case, because it's a long enough number, he might be really fast. Was not really fast.
No, not even a little. In fact, he was mired up in all of the nonsense every once in a while that was happening.
He was never a factor at all, which is fine. That's why you just take that, right? If we had bet him top 5 or something, then you're a lot more disappointed in that. But it was like, hey, if they hit, because he seems to be the type of guy that can some days hit and some days doesn't, and this was the day he didn't. So it ends up being Heim at the end of the day. Again, I don't feel bad not having Heim, being that he was, like Brian said, not a good truck throughout a majority of the week.
Sometimes you don't need the best truck all day. You just need the best truck at the end, and that's what he had.
Yep, them tires paid off.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, everybody had a chance to do it. He was the only one that took the chance. So you can't blame anybody else but yourself for that. Speaking of not blaming anybody else, damn, I love when the 7-car wins a race. Like, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm a good big old Justin Allgaier softy. I'm a JRM softy.
And how about Allgaier? If you remember, Rod, he's been the guy that dominates races and leads all these laps and then never wins the races he dominates. Now suddenly he's Kevin Harvick and he just comes in and closes races at the end of the day and steals the victory. So it's like, hey, but yeah, Justin Allgaier, another victory. That new crew chief pairing seems to be working out. Maybe not dominating the races like he'd been previously sometimes, but putting themselves in position and working to get there throughout the day and being able to take advantage at the end. Of course, Kyle Larson, the heavy favorite in this one. So another one where if you took the heavy favorite, wouldn't have paid off for you. That's just how it goes.
Well, he did lead the second most laps in the race, 31. Kyle Larson led 107 laps in the race. But here's the thing. I love what the broadcast was saying as the laps were closing down. And it's like Justin Allgaier, when he was battling Kyle Larson, like, he's not afraid. And this is what we say when we talk about these O'Reilly Series drivers and some of these guys going up against the Cup guys. They're not scared. This is their playground, right? You're coming to their house. They know where everything is. They know where where that squeaky tile is that you avoid when you're trying to sneak away from somebody.
Yeah, this is what we've talked about multiple times, right? As it pushes these guys' odds down, gives you an opportunity. Brandon Jones, of course, the 1 week I don't bet on Brandon Jones, he comes up and shows up, has a chance to win that race late. Obviously, Allgaier and Jones both beat all of the Cup guys in this race. So, yeah, this isn't the days of Kyle Busch comes down and runs 5 races and wipes the floor with all of them. You bet him at minus 200 because it's going to cash. It's just, those aren't the days we're in anymore. And exciting, and I love it.
You love it, but your card didn't love it nearly as much as it could have, but that's all right. Still some good bets, though.
Yeah, so this one, kind of preface on the show, going light, taking some longer shots, nothing short here. Just the head-to-head market was tough. There wasn't a lot out there. Took the Swalwich Group C over on Fanatics because he was almost 5-1. You had the misprice with Kyle Sieg over there. Shocker, Kyle Sieg finishes 37th. So immediately you took one guy out, right? And then you just have Sammy Smith. You just have Taylor Gray left in this equation. Sammy Smith finishes 9th, which is about where we figured he would finish because he's been running solid. And Taylor ended up 15th, which, again, he's been disappointing lately. William Swalwich, on the other hand, ran really well throughout the day. He finishes 17th at the end of the day, so, it doesn't cash. But he was 8th place in stage 1. I think he was 10th place, actually, in stage 2. So he was up there throughout the day, started in 7th place. This was a pretty solid bet, especially for the number you were getting it at. Again, he's, if I was picking one driver out of that group, it was probably Sammy Smith because of the way he's been running, which, by the way, now we go to Martinsville this weekend. Yeah, but yeah, keep an eye on Sammy Smith's numbers when those come out. But yeah, so we don't hit this, but I like the thought. I like the process, and we'll stick with it. Jesse Love did not love us this weekend, Rod. Plus 275. This never really for a top 10. I don't know. It never really felt like it had a chance. I mean, I know he was 7th in stage 1, but I never really felt like Jesse Love was competing like we've seen him compete. And I never felt throughout the day like this top 5 was going to hit.
He just kept falling back. That was the problem. He could not keep up with Kyle Larson. And then, when Christopher Bell was kind of running okay, Brandon Jones was always waxing him. Like these Carson Quapple, there was enough guys that were fighting him. And when he initially started to fall back a little bit, he never, especially on that last round, when whatever adjustment they made, and then the pit stops were screwing him. Like, he spun around in his pit stall because he missed it, and that put him back in the pack and had to fight back again. So he had a very, very frustrating day. And for him to at least finish inside of the top 10, or just outside of the top 10, rather, that was a salvageable day. But boy, I really, if he wouldn't have had that problem, I would have liked to have seen how he would have competed better.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with that. Sheldon Creed, top 5, plus 275 as well. 7th place, he was close. He felt like he had shots throughout the day. He had some speed, was a pretty good car throughout the day. You felt like there was an opportunity there. And Corey Day, so close once again. 6th place. I think this is the second time he's finished 6th place in the last couple of weeks. Kid has a lot of speed. That car is fast, and he is talented. He's cleaned it up. He's staying out of trouble. Keep an eye on Corey Day. Martinsville will be interesting this week because it's Martinsville. We'll have to see what the number's sitting at. But Corey Day, a guy we're going to continue to circle, going to continue to bet on because he continues to put himself in position and show why they've, tapped him to be the guy to bring back the O'Reilly Series full-time ride for Hendrick, which they haven't had in how many years. So, I love the day bet. Again, it doesn't cash, unfortunately, but it was the right track. Plus 650. You were so close.
When you make me look smart once, I like you forever. And that's what Corey Day did a few weeks back. And I do love him. But here's the thing. This is what I like the best. Okay. When they were talking about on the broadcast, they were talking about, Corey Day was mini hurricane, whatever a lower level hurricane is, right?
Tropical storm.
Yeah. He
Tropical
came
storm
in
day.
Tropical storm day. Like he came in like a wrecking ball and wanted to make a name for himself. But Mr. H sat him down like he does so many drivers and says, cut the shit. Do what you got to do, but don't make enemies. Don't tear my car up. Be the kind of driver that I want behind the wheel. And guess what? He stopped being a tropical storm. Now he's downgraded to a light breeze, but he's still having the finishes. And this is what I like about him because he learned how to start racing more politely, and the finishes are still there, right? We're not on the broadcast going, look at Corey Day go through the field trying to wreck everybody. Now we're saying, look at Corey Day, got speed. He's racing nice with people, and he's still finishing the West. Take notes, other drivers, on that's how to do it.
I believe Carson Osvar had a really good finish in the Cup Series race this week. Rod, just
don't give a rat's ass. He put tires on. That's why.
Okay, everybody else could have put tires on. Isn't that what you said about Corey Hyman?
Give Corey Hyman's flowers for putting tires on too.
I did. JDK says, also Austin Hill channeled his inner Kyle Busch. He sucked this week. RCR, just a bad weekend overall for them. Outright
terrorist again. Are we giving him another?
Did he ever stop being a terrorist?
I thought for like 1 minute we cooled our heels on him, and now he's back.
Maybe
again.
He's back. Outrights. Christopher Bell plus 350. He finished 3rd, but just like again, there was never any shot. And for being in this good of a car, just so disappointed in Christopher Bell. I had him in all 3 series as the outrights. We bet the triple at plus 31,000. We bet the double at 3,200. And just never any hope of anything with Christopher Bell. It was highly sad, unfortunately. So Jesse Love at 16-1. He just didn't have it, like we talked about. Creed at 20-1. He had himself in somewhat of a position. I don't know that he was going to win the race. Again, we were kind of chalking up Larson, pretty good shot, right? We were hoping Bell could outmuscle him. That's why we took him as the favorite, quote unquote. But Bell did beat Larson, but he just didn't have it. I don't know. It was a tough weekend for Mr. Bell, but tough weekend in those 2 series betting wise, unfortunately, Rod. But we made up for it on Sunday.
Sure did. And we turned the page then to Sunday, and let's put the O'Reilly and Truck Series behind us. Trucks again off for another week, so we'll be talking O'Reilly exclusively next week as we prepare for Martinsville. But so get ready for that. All right, let's talk Cup.
IndyCar back this week again too, Rod.
Hells yeah, man, I can't wait for that too,
buddy.
All right, well then, when one series lets us down, the next couple of series step back up for us. So love that. Okay, we'll come back. We'll talk we'll talk Cup rather, but before we do that, let's tell you about our friends over at Rhythm. And they both have players on the other side. Gotta get that cleaned up. All right, Rhythm is your official data tool for dominating the madness of college hoops. A rhythm-generated bracket went 34-0 in the first 2 rounds, kids. Woo, this is exciting stuff. I wonder how far that one's going to go. Rhythm continues to crush it in college hoops. So what are you waiting for? I can't think of a good reason. Get in there now. And if you're looking to go premium, it's even a better time. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm. Use promo code SGPN25. We are also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you are getting the absolute best prices. Let's look at Texas and Purdue. Second ranked Purdue taking on the 11th seed of Texas. If you think that Texas can win, or if you think Purdue can cover, that's what you say. Moving by 7.5. They're given -7.5 for Purdue to beat Texas. That's plus 107 over on Novig. And if you think Texas can pull up the upset, it's plus 277 on the money line. So go pick whichever side you like, plop some money down, and download that Novig app you'll get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. It's still March Madness, but it is also Merch Madness. So go take 15% off of everything with the promo code MARCH in our merch store. Again, there's so many beautiful choices right there on the screen for you, all the first half unders. And then, of course, if you want the Racing Gambling Podcast gear, make sure you load up on that and take 50% off with that promo code MARCH.
All right, now we get to the good race, Rod. I'm excited for this one.
We do. But we've also got Preston waiting patiently now in the call box. So let's take Preston and put him on, because I'm sure he's got a lot of fun things to talk about. One of the more active Discorders that we've got going on. Preston,
F1 betting expert, Preston.
Indeed.
What's up, Preston?
Can you guys hear me this time?
Yes, we certainly can. Can you hear us?
Yes. I'm so happy Ross figured it out. Technical issues are no more.
Hey, listen, sometimes it just takes a while to fit into the new surroundings, and we've done it finally.
I just have to give one rant, and then I'll get out of your guys' hair. I had some spare change kicking around the old account from March Madness. So I think watching this race, Chris Buescher's out front. He's 4-1. Shoot, I'll put a couple shekels on that. Not 5 minutes later, we got the gamble of all gambles. Let's break in front of the fastest car on track and see if he's going to hit us. What the hell?
We calling Chris Buescher to the hauler? Is that what we're doing?
I just, like, have you guys ever, they called it a gamble. Have you guys ever been on the interstate and thought, let's gamble, and just slammed on the brakes to see if the car behind you would rear end you? Because that's not the kind of gamble I usually do.
Well, only that one time when I was running from the cops, I didn't want him to know I was about to turn. But
no, you know what? Listen, I only do that when I'm late for something and the semi behind me I'm taking the chance. I'm like, all right, I'm measuring up the distance.
Although I have seen a few people attempt that move. Usually it's across like 4 lanes of traffic as they determine, oh yeah, I should pit now.
Yeah, who was that earlier this year? I'm blanking on who it was earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That happened to be
was that Zilich?
Yeah.
Or Larson. I feel like it was Larson.
It was Larson.
Who just left turn. Oh, we're gonna pit now.
Indeed. Although okay, other than your Chris Buescher gamble there, Preston, how else did your card shake out? Were you good?
The only other thing I had for NASCAR was like one of those dumb long shot head-to-head parlay things, and you know how those usually go.
Those are never dumb. Those are never dumb, Preston.
I
play one of those every week.
The people I picked to go against just happened to have their best rate. You know, like Brad Keselowski. I was like, oh man, I mean, Chase Briscoe should beat Brad Keselowski. Oh, right. That was part of it. And then who was the other one? I feel like it was a Tyler Reddick head-to-head that I think it was Christopher Bell over Tyler Reddick was the one that I was just like, I mean, come on, right? There's no way Reddick can keep up this dominance. And then what did he do?
I kept up the dominance, that's for sure. Like Tyler Reddick, hats off to this guy, man.
Yeah, he's on the first time I tried to call you guys was after Coda, and I was in shock because I was just like, this had to be, I know the first 2 were drafting tracks, but like, he was not in those races whatsoever until the very end when the checkered flag came out. Coda, it was like, this is my race. It didn't matter, you know? Like, that was impressive. But he did the same thing in Darlington. Like, Darlington might even, probably even more, because you got the battery issues you got to worry about before you can change everything out. you get it changed out, and you're still the fastest car. And he won by what, 6 seconds? I mean, come on, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Absolutely. You got one F1 play for us before we get off, Preston, for this weekend?
Well, I'm hoping people were in the Discord, because the Oliver Behrman point finish that was minus 140 is now at best minus 175. Some books as long as minus 50. So I hope you guys got in on that. I've now been having to parlay it in with Houston money line I like for the Sweet 16. So I'm having to parlay that just to get some decent odds on it. But goodness, that's crazy. Nothing's happened, and we're bumping it up 35 cents. That's nuts. But hopefully you guys get in on that.
You gave it out on the Discord. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I've already got like 6 units on it, so don't worry. It's going to have to happen now.
Hell yeah. Hey, if you guys aren't, sg.pn/Discord, get in there. Preston, with his F1 knowledge, is constantly spitting it over there, and we really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. I'll hopefully, now that I know we got the soundboard figured out, I'll have to call in more often, right?
Hey, we're looking forward to it. We got it every week.
Yep, every week. We're looking forward to it.
I will do my best to make it in. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you later, right?
All right, Preston. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Bye-bye.
All right, so let's turn our attention to this Cup Series race where, like we said, Tyler Reddick has now put a chokehold on the entire rest of the field for the rest of this chase. They're going to have to do some serious work to catch up.
Can you imagine if we went to the 36 race format, what those people would be thinking right now, Ron?
They'd be crying. They wouldn't want it anymore because they're like,
what do you mean we're 6 races in and the champion's already been decided?
That's what you asked for. That's what you get, right? It's no one's ever going to be happy. But all right, well then let's get to the betting card, Cody, as we break it all down. We just talked about Tyler Reddick, his teammate Bubba Wallace. I had him over Ty Gibbs, and listen, hats off to. I remember I told you I am somebody who likes to be wrong, and I am wrong on Ty Gibbs' performance.
4 top 6 finishes in a row for Ty?
Yes. He's really cementing himself. And what did I say? I said, I'll take Ty over Carson at this point.
Just needed to get the right people around him, Rod. See, that was the problem. Had the wrong people in the building before.
But like I said, if you learn how to humiliate yourself, and look at Ty Gibbs isn't out there now chirping at everybody anymore. He's keeping his head down. He's driving. He's not making any waves. And he's been quietly doing this every week, right? Because we're not talking about Ty Gibbs. He's been in the top 5, and every once in a while somebody go, oh yeah, hey, and then look, Ty Gibbs, right? And they'll spend 2 minutes on him, and that's it, and then they'll go away. But he's still putting the finishes together. So Ty, I'm going to retract my level of, I'm going to bring it from here to here. Okay, let's see if we can get it all the way in. But unfortunately, yeah, Bubba was a really good looking car. He got in trouble and was unable to complete his good day. His teammate, of course, much better. But yeah, this one, I feel like it would have been a tight battle all the way through anyways.
Well, I mean, you look at the speed 2311 had with all 3 cars. Riley Herbst had the best race of his career, I think, in the Cup Series thus far this weekend as well. Even after the spin, still recovered for a decent day. But Bubba had a ton of speed, started second place, right? Had the baby on Thursday. He announces it after he sits, puts the car on the front row. Okay, great, good. And then, yeah, just wrong place, wrong time when the Toyota on Toyota crime happened with his boss, Denny Hamlin there, and Eric Jones got the damage. And then, that really put an end to his day, which was unfortunate to see, because I do think he would have been a top 10 car and competing for that had that not happened.
Yeah, he had the issues. The toe was knocked out already beforehand, and then after that, it all went downhill. So, but your boy had himself a fantastic day.
Tyler Reddick, top 5, minus 110. No sweat. I mean, top 5 all day. Never not inside of the top 5. Just, that's not how this went at all. But no, look, obviously we've already talked about it. He was the best car, the fastest car on the weekend, hands down. Not even anybody was anywhere near him. Everybody, including Keselowski, said I had nothing to hold to that car. Had to fight through all the adversity. This was one of the bets I was just looking at, and I felt so gross as I was looking at it as the race is going on. Like, this was the bet of all bets. It should have been so easy. He's so good. Even if somebody nips him at the end, fine. Keselowski beats him on tires. Like, we were going to cash this, and then it felt, but rose back up. We were all in the Discord just baffled by them leaving him out on that last. Like, it was like, what are you doing? And apparently Billy Scott gets paid the big dollars for a reason, because correct call, obviously, is he just blows the field out of the water. Easily wins this. So, yeah, easily cashes the top 5 and set a good tone for the card.
Set a fantastic tone for the card. I'm going to go on record.
Before you say this guy's name, I would like to propose that we bring the censor back, Rod, and no longer speak of him.
Okay, so then I am going to tell you that I ended up bringing in another bet on for a top 10 finish, and watermelons are officially off of my menu for a very, very long time. I don't want them seedless. I don't want them with seeds, but I will tell you right now that has definitely moved off of our betting card for a good long time. And not just him, but Trackhouse in general, and thus we're on a road course.
Yeah, I think Trackhouse is clearly having some issues, although Zilich did have a pretty solid day till him and Herbst got into bumper cars there at the end, although he got a decent finish. But yeah, overall, that program is clearly struggling. Mr. Censored should be the best driver on a week-to-week basis, and clearly has struggled the last couple of weeks. So I will not be touching him nor even speaking his name for a while until we see some stuff get fixed over there at Trackhouse.
I hope you broke the code and figured out who we were talking about, because I'm not going to say his name. We're banning his name from the show.
If you haven't figured it out, watermelons, Busch Light. Like, if you can't figure it out at that point, then I can't help you. Yeah. Chase Elliott, top 10. Oh my God, even money. This felt so good, and then he goes out and starts third place, and you're thinking, nothing can sink this, and then he just sucked. I mean, again, like much like Christopher Bell, he was not good. He was hanging around throughout the day, had the track position, it was fine. Now, I think pit road hurt because they did fail 3 times in pre-race tech, so they lost their selection. So even though he started 30, didn't get a good pit stall. I think there was once or twice where he kind of got trapped, lost a couple spots. So I'm sure that overall hurt. They took some tires late and got some spots back, but nowhere near close to getting a top 10. This one, for as good as the day went and as great as the card was, this one stung the most because I was super confident in this. It was just like even money, or minus 125, whatever you could get. Like I put more down on race day because they left him out there at minus 125, and it was like, how does he not? And maybe it should have took away from practice a little bit that Hendrick cars weren't great in practice, but then he qualified well, and he just thought, well, Chase can do what Chase does. Top 10, who cares if he loses 7 spots? And he did not do what Chase does, and bad day for Chase Elliott. So that was unfortunate.
I feel like the pit crews were throwing back to the old days where there were four lugs.
There was a lot of pit issues throughout the day, whether it was, just all sorts of different kinds of issues, but a lot of issues on pit road.
Indeed. All right, Byron top 5. Again, this was another one where Byron was in the top 5, and then he wasn't in the top 5, and then a pit stop, and then he was, and then he wasn't. He ended up finishing 8th, which is fantastic for a 13th place start, but he just didn't. There was not a time where I felt like he was going to stay in the top 5. Like I just watched him kind of sink out of it and then pull himself back in and then sink out of it again. So this one pissed me off the most because I feel like he should have been there, but he didn't have a top 5. Not with the 5, especially with Brad Keselowski being Brad Keselowski, and you'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, I mean the fact that he just sort of faded out into 8th place, that pissed me off.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you can blame the bodies for this week because yes, there's still aero and stuff that comes into effect, but I don't know that it was body related this week. I'll be interested to kind of see. And for Hendrick, the body wasn't a problem in Las Vegas, so there's no reason you could blame the body this week, I don't think. Now, and we'll get to it in a minute with the Chevy bet, we thought Chevy wasn't going to be good here, and largely they weren't. Hendrick specifically was not very good. I mean, Allgaier was out to lunch all day. Byron, you talked about it, just not great. Elliott was not good. And Larson got up to the lead at one point just because of how things kind of cycled. But even when he was up there, it quickly became apparent he wasn't the best car. And once he got shuffled out, he really didn't have another shot. And then, well, he did what Larson tends to do and was shook and got on the wall late for a really bad finish. But, I don't know. I guess I would say don't just be like, oh, my God, sound the alarm over at Hendrick. Like, they're going to be fine this weekend at Martinsville. Larson's really good here. Elliott's really good here. Byron's really good here. They're going to be just fine at Martinsville again. They're going to be just fine at Bristol again, I think, in a couple of weeks. because those are tracks where they're good at. Darlington hasn't been great to them lately, so I think if we just kind of keep watching those trends and pick and choose our spots, we actually might be able to use that really to our advantage for the tracks where we don't think they're going to be good. Let's fade them, and it worked out for us this week. So RFK, boy, was it a biffle type of day from them. Keselowski top 10 at plus 190. You never worried about this one throughout the day. Keselowski easily had the best car in the field if Tyler Reddick wasn't out there. But second place finish out of him. So much speed, looked good. You thought maybe he was going to win for the first time since he won there previously in 2024. Looked amazing. And then the RFK top 10 parlay. Felt really good about that after qualifying. Keselowski clearly gets in there. Buescher, we'll talk more about in a minute, hangs on. And Priest was just outside in 13th place, but at plus 2,600, this might be a thing I keep going in on, is find a team that you think is going to perform well. And like RFK, I guess maybe because they always run so close to each other, and really the 6 and 17 were pretty close to each other a majority of the day. The 60 was a little bit farther back, but this one definitely had some legs. But the Keselowski top 10, that cashed obviously at plus 190 and was a good day.
Yeah, and look, that one, the RFK parlay was cashing at certain points in that race too, because Priest was in the top 10 and it was looking really good. So, hats off to you for the RFK call. Unfortunately for me, JGR call did not work, nor did the 2311, the boss and the boys think, because the boss ended up taking out one of the boys, which I'm not quite sure how that all ended up. But I had Denny as the top Toyota, and as we know, Tyler Reddick ended up being the top Toyota, and Denny just did not have the race that Denny wanted. Like, there was issues all day long with Denny, and I'm going to write that off. Yeah, he was off. It was
uncharacteristic Denny.
Yeah. And it was probably, the fact that he's been weighed down and last week's emotional or his emotional wins and everything. Like,
you think the momentum and things were clicking. I just don't understand how it didn't carry over to this week. And it does seem like the sims were way off. Like, everybody from all three manufacturers, we've heard comments about how the manufacturer simulations just didn't hit what actually happened this weekend. Now, clearly, if something in the 45 camp hit right, but yeah, Denny was way off from where he normally is. But I don't know, like, he gets that damage from Eric Jones, and then all of a sudden he was fast for a minute, and then it just kind of parachuted. He had the tire problem late too, so it was kind of an unfortunate day for Denny. I kept thinking they would fix it and get it better, and they just didn't do that.
No, they swung and missed quite often. So Denny top Toyota didn't hit. The boss and the boys parlay didn't hit either. Denny was not a top 3. Reddick was a top 5. Bubba could have probably been a top 10 if it wouldn't have happened early on. So, yep, unfortunately that one didn't hit either.
Yeah, the Chris Buescher car lift at one point, it looked like we were going to cash every layer of this until he decided to hit the brakes in traffic, as we talked about earlier, which was just really unfortunate. Luckily, he held on, cashed the top 10 at plus 150. Again, the way that I suggest betting these types of bets, and same thing with ladder bets in football or whatever, you want to make your money on the first rung, the first step, and then everything else on top of that is just bonus cash. But he cashes that plus 150. We talked about the great day from RFK. The top 5 at plus 450 was cashing for a long time. That strategy, they stayed out when everybody pitted. Was it 6 green flag laps on the tires? And his tires held out well. He was leading, and that's what led to then that cycle later where they pit. And just, I get wanting to not let everybody know when you're going to pit, but if you're going to do that, you got to not get run over in the process. So poor execution there. Luckily, as hard as he hit the wall, I thought we were just completely cooked, but held on to the top 10 and hit that. So the top 5 doesn't hit. Top 4 to plus 550. Obviously, it would have been a toss-up between him and Keselowski. 33-1 to win. Certainly, it had legs, while he was running up there. Obviously, if Reddick doesn't, fix things and get better, and maybe if Reddick's not there, Buescher does end up winning that race. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, Buescher car lift was starting to get there, and it got there until the wheels
car lift. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but the car lift has been doing pretty good this year. Now, last week, Mr. Censorship, didn't deliver anything.
Changed it to the watermelon.
Yeah, exactly, and that was the problem. So we're going to stick to car lifts going forward, no fruit lifts. It's had pretty solid stuff, hitting multiple rungs too a couple times. So we're gonna hopefully the car lift will keep on rolling.
Indeed. Well, look, I probably should stop doubling up on the winning car number bets because I hit one and missed the other. Winning car number over 21.5. Definitely got that on Tyler Reddick plus 175. Unfortunately, the 20 to 29 band that I gave out at plus 260 was not in anywhere near getting that one. Byron was not good. Bell was not good. And Byron and Bubba were my two outrights. I'll just kind of close it out there. Neither one of those guys hit. So obviously the 20 to 29 band just stopped working because Harvick isn't in the 29 anymore. So that couldn't get us where we needed to go. But yeah, I mean, look, we hit half of the winning car number, just could not get through to the other side.
Yeah, good call on the over 21.5 though. Outrights, I had Reddick plus 650. Obviously, this ended up being a great call. Everything worked out perfectly. The stars aligned. I talked about on the show, I was so split between Reddick and Denny and going back and forth, and I'm so glad I went with Reddick instead of Denny. Still got invested on Denny because I think he was 8-1 on race day, which felt, not correct. But Reddick pays off and hits. Bell at 10-1. Obviously, we've talked enough about him. Elliott at 25-1. You tell me he's going to start third, 25-1. Okay, I like what we've got there, but obviously that didn't pay off. Keselowski at 35-1. This was looking good. That was the saving grace in the Reddick problems was, okay, well, maybe it's not Reddick. Buescher's looking good. Keselowski's looking good. When we had the 33 on Buescher, we had the 35 on Keselowski. These are two guys who could certainly get it done. And Keselowski obviously with a great day finishing in second place. So doesn't catch this at 35-1. Obviously, if you were like, was our guy Phila earlier was saying wanted a long shot, but we had the long shots there, and that's why you take them. It was all about Reddick. We loved Reddick. Everything said Reddick, but just in case something goes wrong, and literally 10 different things went wrong for Tyler Reddick. Now, he fought through all of it and got it done, but if it doesn't, Keselowski's right there to scoop in, hits the 35-1, and really it ends up being a good day.
If it ends up taking one more lap for them to change out that battery, if it ends up being the fact that he can't go anymore because he's exhausted.
If they don't take out the battery, I mean, that was that I said in the Discord at the time, like, this is perfect. Don't wait for this to continue to be a problem. Take care of it now. There was only 20 cars on the lead lap. You're going to start the back. You're going to fight your way back through. Yes, but take care of it now while you still have 2 stages worth of racing, and it took all 2 stages for him to get back up there. But that was a top-notch call by Billy Scott on that, holding him out there longer, which they had tried earlier, but then they had the problem on pit road, so it didn't work, but it looked like it would have worked. It just, everything about the way Billy Scott called that race with all the problems, all the adversity, just as good as how Tyler Reddick handled it driving the car. So this could be our next, Rodney Childers, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy and Chad, Kyle and Cliff. Like, if Billy Scott keeps making decisions like this could be a really dangerous pairing going forward.
For a long time, too. So
yeah.
Andrew hit a 9-1 on Reddick live betting, so that's a good hit.
Dude, I kept looking. Like, I never saw it go above like 4-1, but hell yeah, good on you, because I was looking every time he went to the back or had an issue. I was like, this car is way too fast to not try and get it. But I know some people out there got bigger numbers, so props to you guys.
Absolutely love it. Although you did skip one box though, and that was the one that you did hit, at least part of the Chevys.
Oh, what did I do? I don't know. I did miss.
It's because you were skipping over the second part of that.
Yeah. So I gave out Busch top 10 and Busch top Chevy, which was horrible. How do I know that Chevy's not going to be good? I give out a top Chevy, and I don't give out Carson Hocevar as the top Chevy, Rod. What is my problem? Like, it was right there. It was way too obvious, and I totally missed it. I'm glad the rest of the card went good, or I would have felt much worse about that. But Carson Hocevar was the top Chevy. This was the week to bet it. Ugh, just annoying. But then I did have the under 3.5 Chevys in the top 10 at plus 130. I know you said there was some guys up there throughout kind of the day, but I mean, we only ended up with, well, I guess we did end up with 3 because Suarez kind of snuck in there. But Van Gisbergen in a 14 was the next. I know Larson was up there for a while. But overall, we thought Chevy was going to be pretty weak. And really, you go in and you say Hocevar is going to be your best finishing in 4th, and then it's Suarez in 7th, then Byron in 8th. But after that, SVG, Elliott, and you really go downhill from there. So yeah, that the Chevy fade worked out. I ended up taking I got a bunch of Kyle Larson head-to-heads on the local on race day, took all of them. It was a sweat for a little bit, but cashed every single one of them, which was really nice. It was a good week to fade Chevy. I will not be fading Chevy this week at Martinsville, I don't believe, because I think they'll be fine. But you pick and choose your spots with them, and that's, I don't know, I think that's going to be something we continue to look at, because we thought that at Phoenix a couple weeks ago. It worked out well fading them. They weren't good. It's not often you get tracks where they're not going to be good, but specifically if Hendrick is going to be out of it, it really opens up everything in that Chevy market.
I think Daniel Suarez loves anytime he gets near the one car, because he's always able to put him in the rear view, and he
keeps running in 7th place. He won't be anywhere near that one car. I'll tell you that, Rod.
He'll be passing him if he has to start behind him, and then he won't be looking back for it again. So, yeah, absolutely love Daniel Suarez is somebody I'm going to have to keep my eye on now going forward, because he's looking pretty good.
Been running well. Those
looking
those Gabehart secrets must be pretty good. And Spire cars are running good.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 in the top 10 this week. Might have to rethink about those little secrets going on. But all right, well then, Cody, that is the weekend that was at Darlington, and this week we'll look ahead to a fun paperclip at Martinsville, short track racing for real, and lots of beating, lots of banging, lots of tempers, lots of heat, and man, this is going to be a fun weekend as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a really exciting race to bet on, as it always is. So, man, it's been a tough, slow start to the season, but so glad we had a good weekend like that to remind us how much fun it is to do this. Make NASCAR betting fun again, Rod. We did it this weekend. LFG.
Okay, well then, let's let everybody go so they can get ready for this weekend at Martinsville and start prepping as we start prepping for it as well. And in the meantime, Cody, where can everybody find you out in the real world?
Follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff over there. And there's a lot of basketball stuff that's been going well and having a lot of fun with that. Good time.
Good times. Just like our buddy Jeff Paxson there, that's leaned on the end button for a long time. I kind of like that. It's all right.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Sometimes that finger just does not come off of the end button, and I don't know what. All right. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can keep track of everything I'm up to over there as well. We will see you tomorrow at some point, odds permitting, for the Martinsville race. And until then, thank you for joining us on our never-ending quest to make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.